Okay, you feel good?
Yeah.
Ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay, this is good. Maybe you can just start by telling us your name, how old you are, what community you're from.
My name's Kyle Katana from Tuktoyaktuk and Inuvik, 36 years old. Yeah.
When did you start playing Northern games?
I started playing probably 10, 11, but my dad always played the games around in the house with the family. So I started at a young age. Probably got introduced to them around 6, 7 years old. Yeah.
And why do you think it's important for these young people to learn to play Northern games?
Well, these games bring everybody together. It's a good way for kids to communicate with each other and have fun and not be shy, which is a common thing around here. Yeah.
What kind of skills do you think that they learn from playing the games?
Just just mostly testing their abilities and being confident in themselves. Yeah. That's what I see in it. Yeah. When I'm teaching the kids, they're shy at first, and then by the end of the day, they're all playing with each other, talking with each other, and it just gets them more comfortable.
What's your earliest memory of playing Northern games?
Uh, I remember it was me and Craig Rubin, Brent Wilkie were in the school with one of the officials, Steve Cockney, Bullock. Yeah, we were practicing in there, and I remember Brent, he used to jump forward at the seal. So he jumped from really far away and kick, and we all just laughed because it's so funny and it worked really well for him the whole time. It's a good time laughing.
When you were starting to play, who are some of the athletes that you looked up to? Who are your role models?
Well, Goluk, my dad, my Uncle Davey, they all played games, and just basically all my uncles that played. Uncle Gary was probably the smoothest Alaskan high kicker I've ever seen. Yeah.
Did you ever get given any good advice from any of your coaches?
All the time.
Are you willing to share any good advice, your best advice?
Uh, best advice that I got? There's so many, but probably from my fellow competitors telling me, stop being so shy, just be yourself and have fun. That's probably the best advice I got from them.
When did you start coaching?
I started traveling with my dad when I was a teenager to the surrounding communities. I was a competitor at the time, and it was just convenient that my dad was running the thing, so I went along and I learned a lot. Yeah, probably 16, 17, around there.
What places have the Northern Games taken you? You talked about traveling with your dad.
Wow. The Northern Games brought me to Vancouver, brought me to Clavic, Person, Fort Smith, just all over the place. It's great.
Um, one of the things that Donald says about the games is that they're for learning the skills for living on the land. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how the games relate to life on the land.
Well, our agility games, they test your balance, your strength to get around on the land. As you can tell around here, it's very rough terrain, and it's not easy to get around. So our agility games kind of get you hopping around the place, just comfortable. Our strength and endurance games, like our wrist hang, arm pull, they're pretty rough on the skin, and that's supposed to help with frostbite. just to endure the pain as you're getting home from hunting or going hunting. It's just some of the things. Yeah.
Do you have any stories about how playing Northern games helps people keep people safe on the land?
Stories? Um, well, being out in the land, you can't keep to yourself, right? You can't. Having these games bring people together and just gets you out of your comfort zone and makes you be with people. Yeah, because that's what's important, not being by yourself.
Um, so sometimes elders talk about how the land now is a bit different than it was when they were young. And I wonder if you think that, or do you think that playing the games helps kids to navigate those changes?
Yeah. In every event, there's always something different that you're going to encounter, whether it be a higher height, a further distance that you have to beat because somebody else did it. And with it being warmer, they'll have that idea on how to deal with that at the same time. Just yeah.
I wonder what you think are the greatest strengths of the Northern Games for teaching those kinds of skills to the kids. Like why is it a yeah sorry, I'm nervous. Yeah, what do you think are the greatest strengths of the Northern Games for teaching those kinds of skills to the kids?
Well, from what I've seen kids from other communities coming together and just communicating and testing their abilities, prepping them for things they may encounter. If a kid has to jump from a shore to an iceberg, our games kind of mimic that. If you have to jump one to another, like we have games to do that. The triple jump mimics that, jumping from one bird to another. Jumping a distance, that's what kneel jump will teach you. Our games are mimicked from what we do on the land.
I think one of the things that I've enjoyed the most of the past couple days is watching you go up and chat to those young people when they're either having a tough moment or if they're trying to learn how to do something new. What is your favorite moment from these past couple of days?
Having other competitors go up to the person that's there as they're competing and saying, "You're doing great, you're doing good, you have to do this," and it shows that these games bring our communities together, and just everyone's happy at the end of it. Everyone shakes hands. There's no putting anybody down, and it's all smiles. Everyone's happy at the end of it.
Part of the Northern Games is the more sport type activities, and part of it is the more like good man, good woman. How do you see all of those different pieces of the games coming together?
As a whole for the games, yeah. So the good man, good woman events are just like tea boiling. You need that skill out in the land to be able to make a fire quickly. Um, our strength endurance games mimics the frostbite. I mean, kids play the games and they learn at the same time. Same way they would do out at the cabin. You watch your parents do it or your nana and dad it. It's the beauty of these games because you learn something new every day.
And for you, when you see all of those good man competitions, what does it mean to you to be a good man?
Grab your partner. Partner ball. Door is open. For me, I was watching my grandpa, Tom Ross. He was in the events in Inuvik, and he would do the tea boiling or the bannock making, and he was fast. You know. My dad, he'd be laughing the whole time while doing it. It's just, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it means a lot because I could learn little tricks as they're doing it, and I try to do that. And I have my son watching me do these games, and I can see his little things that I do that he does now. And it's just passing things down.
Nicholas is your son, right?
Yes.
Mr. Handsome?
Yeah, Mr. Handsome.
Is it important for you for your kids to play in the games? For
Yeah.
your kid to play in the game.
It is, because I have a lot of good memories and made a lot of good friends because of this sports.
Can I ask you why he's called Mr. Handsome?
It's my dad. Yeah. My daughter Haley, she's Pretty Bubs. Nicholas is Mr. Handsome. It's just nicknames that grandparents give him. My dad gave me Lefty. I'm extremely left-handed in everything I do. And the name just sticks.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
You just have such pretty kids. They just have to be handsome and pretty
Bubs.
bubs.
Handsome.
There's a when they made a list of people who they wanted to have featured in the magazine, your name was top of list, and I even seen you in all of those demos, the how-tos in the Tusayaksat magazine, other issues.
Yeah.
When you teach a how-to, or you're teaching someone how to play a game they never played before, what do you have a strategy for how to explain it to them, or it just comes natural?
Every person is different. You can't teach everybody the same way. Me, I've taught kids for years, and for me, I just looked at what they did and I just went from there. If the kid was really hyper, I'd be hyper with them. Like, look, you got to do it this way, and you just got to encourage them for what they do.
I like that idea of going with like the spirit of the kid.
Mm-hmm.
For these kids that are here and who are nurturing that spirit they have for the games, what would you want to say to them? Like if you could talk to all of them at once.
All of them? Keep practicing, keep getting better, and then I really hope, I know that they're going to be better than what my group was. There's me, Matthew, Craig, tons of us, and I already could see it. They're kicking higher than we were when they were their age. Yeah, and it's just great. Just they pick up on little tricks. Everybody teaches them something.
And for those older youth who maybe used to play the games a couple years ago, but it's been a while, and they're wondering, maybe I should pick it up, maybe I won't.
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
Get back to it. All you can do is have fun.
Okay, right on. Was there anything that I didn't ask? I know I asked a lot of questions. Was there anything that I didn't ask that you thought I should have, or anything you wanted to say?
No, I think we pretty much got it all.
Well, thanks for coaching for the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for teaching all of us, including me. And thanks for being such a good role model for all these young people, because it feels really good to be gathered.
Well, I had a lot of people that are teaching me. Like I said, I have a lot of fond memories because of it. So I just want to pass that on.
Right on. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Good?
Yep.